Today we are doing a graphing lines exploration where we're going to learn all about the equation and how to graph it and some key points to a graph. So first thing we're going to do is graph the following linear equation. We're going to do it with the t-table and graph the points here. Now the equation is y equals x, which is probably the easiest equation because I don't have to do anything to x. So y equals whatever the x equals. So in other words, if the x is -2, then so is the y. When x is -1, so is the y. When x is 0, so is the y. When x is 1, so is the y. When x is 2, so is the y. So -2 would be down here. -1 would be here. 0, 0 would be here. 1, 1, 2, 2. This is the easiest line. Okay, it's also called the 45-degree angle line. It's just a very simple line. Now, it crosses the y-axis at the point 0, 0. The point where a line crosses the y-axis is called the y-intercept. So we could write that down. The y-intercept is 0, 0. It also crosses the x-axis at 0, 0. The point where a line crosses the x-axis is called the x-intercept. So this is an easy one because the x and y-intercepts are the same. Okay? Identifying where a line crosses the x and y-intercept is a very important part of drawing a graph and understanding it. So we will be identifying today x and y-intercepts as we go. Now, for the rest of this activity, what I would like you to do is use the Desmos graphing calculator that is it's online. You've probably done this before, okay? What you have to do is on your Chromebook, go to Desmos.com, you can see it in the upper left-hand corner, desmos.com, hit enter, and then you can say start graphing. Now, this is a graphing calculator that's built in to your computer, it's online. So what you would do is click on that first blank in the upper left-hand corner, and you're going to type in the first equation. You'll notice there's a keyboard on the bottom. If you click on this keyboard to the left, if you can see my mouse, that hides and shows the keyboard. So if it's never there, if it's not there sometimes, just you need to click on that little keyboard. So my first equation for the next example is y equals x plus 2. So using my mouse, I'm just going to type in y equals x plus 2. And you can see, while I'm doing that, Desmos is already graphing it. So there's my line. Now, these very bright lines are obviously the y-axis and the x-axis. So one of the things, the next thing on your paper is you should graph that. And the way we're going to graph it on your paper is we're going to find the x and y-intercepts. So the y-intercept is right here. And on Desmos, if you put your mouse on it, you can see it tells you the point, 0, 2. So that is the y-intercept because that's where the line crosses the y-axis. There's also an x-intercept right here. Again, if you put your mouse on it, it'll show up. It's -2, 0. And now if you go back to your paper, I wrote down those two intercepts, the y-intercept and the x-intercept, and now I can just graph them. So I go to 0, 2, that's here, -2, 0 is here, connect them, there's my line. For the next example, we're going to graph y equals x minus 4. So going back to Desmos, I could just click on the same box I was on before, and I can change it to y equals x minus 4. Again, instantly I get a graph, and I can hover over where it crosses the x-axis. So my x-intercept is 4, 0, so I can write that on my paper. And my y-intercept is 0, -4. If you actually click on those points with your mouse, the 4, 0 and the -4, 0 will stay. So now I go back to my paper, and I wrote those two intercepts down. So I just graph them quick. Y-intercept is 0, -4, and the x-intercept is 4, 0. Now, for the rest of the packet, what I would like you to do, if you turn the page, you are just going to continue with Desmos and answering the questions. So you'd put this equation to Desmos, find the x and y-intercept, draw the graph, and then there may be some questions that you have to answer. If you have trouble answering the questions, call me over. I'd be happy to help you. But your job is to use Desmos to finish this packet. Once you get to the end, on the last page, it says, graph the following linear graphs on the graph paper provided. Identify the slope and y-intercept. Once finished, go to Moodle and answer the questions for this homework. These 6 questions are the homework, so you could do it on here and then go to Moodle and enter your answers. Again, if you have any questions, please raise your hand and I will come help you. Thanks.